See how the text opens. Homage to great compassion. I bow down to compassion. He is not bowing down to any person here. He is bowing to great compassion. The love, the unconditional love, the unconditional compassion is such an important quality. It is a source of peace and happiness for everybody. In Buddhist text it says that for achieving Buddhahood, compassion is like a seed. It's very important in the beginning, like seed and moisture. Okay? And then first seed, and then secondly, like moisture, water, to nurture it. Then finally it is like the flower or the fruit. So it's important in the beginning, in the middle, and in the end. Compassion. So what is compassion? What is compassion?
The need that nobody else will suffer.
So the exact Buddhist definition says, how nice if all sentient beings are without suffering. That's compassion. How nice if all sentient beings are separated from suffering. That's compassion. So now you can see the value. How much it will cost, do you think, in terms of dollar? It's really priceless. It's priceless. Unconditional loving kindness, compassion, these are priceless. But how many people are talking about these things? Okay? So homage to, I pay respect to these great inner values like compassion. The essence of the nectar of secret instructions is transmitted from the master from Sumatra. The essence of the nectar of secret instruction. So these mind training teachings are called secret instructions. So that's why I'm saying we are lucky. We have access to these teachings now. But in the very beginning, when these mind training teachings were given, they were secret instructions. They were given only to people who already have some groundwork done, who already have some preparation, who already have some understanding of the stages of the path, Lamrim, the spiritual stages of the path. It's not taught openly. It's almost like Tantra at that time. But then gradually, it became more and more public. So in a way, we are lucky. Okay? The essence of the nectar of secret instruction. So this secret instruction of this mind training, the essence of this secret instruction, the main subject matter of this instruction is like a nectar. In Sanskrit it's called Amrit. Amrit. Nectar is called Amrit. Okay? So Amrit means immortality, no death. So there is a nectar which you drink will give you the state of no death. Okay? So the essence of this teaching is bodhicitta. It's teaching about bodhicitta. You know bodhicitta? How many of you know bodhicitta? All of you know bodhicitta? You know bodhicitta? Bodhicitta, it's a Sanskrit word. Bodhi means Buddhahood, enlightenment. Chitta means mind. So bodhicitta means mind to enlightenment. Mind to enlightenment. A mind that wishes to become Buddha, not for oneself, but for the benefit of all sentient beings. It's an aspiration, thinking, how nice if I become Buddha for the benefit of all sentient beings. How nice if I become Buddha for the benefit of all sentient beings. Instead of saying, how nice if I become the richest man in the world to benefit of all sentient beings. The prayer do not say, how nice if I become a billionaire to help all sentient beings. It's not saying that. It is saying, how nice if I become a Buddha for the benefit of all sentient beings. Why? Because these days we think that if you become billionaire, you can solve many problems. This is how we think today. But in the Buddhist teaching it says, how nice if I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. This is important because Buddha is somebody who is completely enlightened, who knows your past, your present, your future, who knows your mental disposition, who can read your mind. So therefore he will be able to give an instruction, a teaching, which is relevant to you now and in the future. So therefore, if you read the Buddhist teaching, you will come across two levels of teaching. One is called interpretative teaching, another is called definitive teaching. The interpretative teachings are given because for certain people they may not be able to understand the definitive teaching. Like it's like teaching ABCD to a kindergarten going child. The ultimate aim may be to gradually take this kindergarten going kid to PhD level. But right now, because of his or her situation, you cannot teach the PhD subjects. So you can teach only ABCD, see. So that's a skillful way. So similarly, the Buddha did not give all the definitive ultimate teachings to anybody like that. He would give teachings to different people depending upon their need and gradually lead them to the higher levels. So therefore, and then the teaching that he gives is, as we discussed already, how to remove the negative emotions, how to cultivate the positive emotions. And it is by removing the negative emotions and cultivating the positive emotions that you will be able to get that highest happiness. You call it Buddhahood, whatever you want to call it. But you will be able to get that highest happiness. And we all have some idea. And last night when I asked you the question, what is the main source of happiness and peace? Is it money? You all said no. So you have some idea already. So it has to come from the mind. So that is what the Buddha taught. So therefore the long-lasting happiness and peace has to come by cultivating the mind, not material accumulation. So that's why this teaching on bodhicitta is really like a nectar, the essence of the nectar, meaning that this bodhicitta is like a nectar. The nectar, when you drink that nectar, it gives you, the state of immortality. So similarly, when you sincerely practice bodhicitta and cultivate bodhicitta, then you will be able to destroy the negative influence of the negative emotions. You will be able to cultivate the highest goal of happiness. And of course, you will then achieve the state of real immortality. You will be able to come out of the samsara. You will be able to become a Buddha. Okay? Now when we talk about becoming a Buddha or achieving nirvana, it may not be easy for all of us to understand that. It's a long-term goal. So for many of us, it's really like a dream. So here what is important is you should be pragmatic. Because otherwise many people think, oh, they talk so much about Buddhahood and nirvana, but it's not helping me in my life right now. So why should I practice these Buddhist teachings, you see? They think like that. So that is wrong. Because your aim, the aim may be enlightenment, Buddhahood and nirvana. But just by practicing little by little right now, you can get that benefit right now. That's the result of the teaching. So don't think that unless you become Buddha, you're not going to get anything right now. And don't calculate the Buddhist practice achievements in terms of material calculations. It's not like that. Anything that is spiritual cannot be measured in material terms. It's not like you work for 1 month, at the end of the month you get certain money, as a salary. You can count it, So spiritual practice is not like that. You may not get anything tangible like that. But this does not mean to say that you will not get any material benefit. You will get a lot of material benefit. Because as I already indicated, it's not how much you earn money, but how you spend. So if you are somebody who has these Buddhist values, then there will be contentment there will be less desire, less greed, and because of that you will save a lot of money. You will save a lot of money. There are some people who work very hard, earn a lot of money, but always without money. There are some people who may not be earning much, but they are always a lot of money. Because you are not wasting the money. Okay, so these values really help you. It will help you not to engage in excessive drinking or smoking. There are so many areas where we can throw the money, you see. So many of these bad habits will stop, and because of that you can also save a lot of money. Okay, so even in material terms it has a lot of value. Clear, homage to the great compassion, the essence of this nectar of secret instructions is transmitted from the master from Sumatra. Sumatra is Indonesia. At that time it is called Indonesia. Suwandipa is also called. The master from Suwandipa is called Suwandipa. Suwandipa means Golden Island. In those times, Sumatra or Golden Island. So the master from the Golden Island is also called Golden Island Master, Suwandipa. So in order to get this mind training teachings from this Indonesian master at that time, it was I think around 14th century, I think, 14 or 11, I don't remember. Or 11th century, I think. Yeah, 11th century. Around 11th century. So in order to get this teaching, Atisha had to travel from India to Suwandipa, Indonesia, by sea, and it took more than 6 months. You can imagine how much hardship he has endured with 125 other scholars. It took 6 months, and on many occasions they almost died. But he had to do a lot of spiritual practice to get rid of the disturbances and things like that. That's a very interesting and moving story. So you can see the determination of those people. You can see the condition of the board in those times. You see? It's really like doing a sacrifice. So somehow he was able to reach there and get all those teachings. So how much those people worked to get those spiritual instructions in those days. So nowadays if we are able to spend 2 days for a workshop, it is a big sacrifice. Travel from Tel Aviv to here, 2.5 hours by car is a big sacrifice. Anyway, so it's important sometimes for inspiration to know this story. It's transmitted from the master from Sumatra. You should understand the significance of this instruction. The significance of this instruction is that it is like a diamond. What is the value of diamond right now? Is it more costly than gold? Huh? Of course, steel? Okay, very costly. So in those days it seems diamond is highly, highly prized. So this teaching on bodhicitta is like a diamond, priceless. The quality with the diamond, the text says, is that it excels all other gems. In the case of diamond, even if it is a broken piece, still it is of great cost. Okay? So the diamond can cut many other materials. So similarly, this bodhicitta of the conventional bodhicitta, which is bodhicitta, and the ultimate bodhicitta, wisdom, understanding, emptiness, they can cut all the negative emotions. So therefore it's like diamond. Just as a diamond fulfills all your wishes, it is said that in those times, even if you put a diamond on a stick or something and do your prayer, then all your wishes are fulfilled. There's a saying like that. So just like that, if you cultivate these two bodhicittas, conventional bodhicitta and ultimate bodhicitta, it will fulfill all your temporary and long-term wishes. So they are diamond. And it's like a sun, because as soon as the sun rises, it dispels all darkness. There's no way that sun is there and darkness is there. It's an interesting natural law. Like as soon as you switch on the light, the darkness disappears. So similarly, the inner darkness of negative emotions, mental obscurations, all will be dispelled and disappear if you light the lamp of bodhicitta, of wisdom, understanding, emptiness. And the medicinal tree, it talks about particular medicinal tree which can heal 424 different diseases. 424 different diseases. It talks about a medicinal tree by using its leaves, barks, roots. It can heal so many different kinds of diseases. So similarly, like this medicinal tree, if you cultivate and practice this bodhicitta, the two kinds of bodhicitta, you can get rid of 84,000 afflictive emotions. The text talks about 84,000 different kind of negative emotions. I have no idea. Each of them, I can't count. But it basically says that a big part belonging to the desire, a big part belonging to anger, a big part belonging to ignorance, and then a big part related to all the three negative emotions. So it makes a total of 84,000 different afflictive emotions. So all this can be eliminated by cultivating this bodhicitta. And the root of all these afflictive emotions, 84,000 or whatever, the root is self-cherishing attitude and self-grasping mind. Now these two you need to know very well. Self-cherishing attitude. Self-cherishing attitude here does not mean to say that you should not take care of yourself. Of course you should take care of yourself. But self-cherishing attitude means thinking just about yourself and totally ignoring and neglecting the well-being of others. Self-obsession, probably. Okay? So that kind of self-cherishing attitude is one of the main cause for all the physical and mental illnesses that we see. Just thinking about oneself and forgetting others. Not caring about others. This is one disease. Big disease. Big disease. Source of many illnesses. Physical, mental illnesses. As I explained yesterday a little bit. Then another is called self-grasping, which means seeing things as having independent existence when they do not have such an existence. Seeing things as having an independent existence when they do not have such existence. Okay, now listen carefully with your ears raised. This one is very important. With your ears raised. Things exist. Things exist. You know that. Things exist, yeah? How do things exist? Dependently or independently? Everybody, not just one or two. Dependently or independently? Huh? Who said independently? Dependently? Everybody thinks dependently? Everybody thinks dependently? This is important. Therefore, I need to do a little bit of this exercise. Sometimes it helps, our monkey mind to open up, you see, if we discuss like this, rather than just my keep on talking, So things exist, and we all agree that things exist dependently. This is a big progress. This is a big knowledge. Right now, when I am asking you this question, you are answering and saying things exist dependently. But that is not how we think in our regular life. This is the problem. When in our ordinary unquestioning mind, we think things exist independently, especially when you fancy something. If you like something, oh, that one is so beautiful, wow, existing independently from its own side. This Mercedes car, wow, 100% nice. Look at the color, look at the model. You see? Wow, you see? This is how we think. So there lies the problem. When you have started seeing something as 100% beautiful, handsome, then you are getting into problem. Because then your mind is into that. This is so wonderful, so good. I must have it. I must have it. When you say I must have it, it's not enough. You say I must have it, you need money. So do you have enough money to have that? No. Then what you need to do? You need to work like a donkey, day and night, to get that enough money to buy that one. So already a lot of trouble, you see. So every time you count how much we have, I have. Still not enough. You work hard. Okay. So finally, when you get it, get the enough money and buy it, own it, then it looks even more attractive. Now because you are the owner. So for the first few days, it's really amazing, attractive. Wow, I made it. I have this car. You dream about it. You touch it. And somebody touches it. Oh, please don't touch, don't touch. You might stain it. You might scratch it. You see? There's a story, very moving story. Somebody bought a car like that, expensive car, and for the first few days, the honeymoon period, he was very obsessed with it. He don't want anybody to touch it, thinking that they will scratch it. So he had a young daughter. The daughter, out of her innocence, goes there and scribbles something on the car, writes something on the car. Then the father got so annoyed, he just pushed the little girl. The girl died. Now this is a story, but it's very, very moving and very good example. The girl died. And then the father, of course, felt very sad because he did not mean to kill her, just pushed out of anger, and she died. Then he came to see what the little girl has written on the car. You know what she has written? She said, she has written, "Papa, I love you." It's a very moving story. It can happen like that, you see. Out of excessive attachment, you can do things like that. That's the lesson of this story. That's the lesson of the story. So therefore, whenever you encounter something, good things, bad things, you should always be able to develop this understanding that it also is dependent on many things. Who looks at it, how it is made, you see. The so-called great cars are actually assemblage of teams, assemblage of many almost like broken parts put together and nicely painted, so there's nothing much in it, you see. So like that. So whether it is with person or with wealth, with belongings, it's important to always maintain this understanding that this also comes from cause and condition. This also is impermanent. This also is fragile. This also is fragile. So once you develop that understanding, it will lessen your attachment to those that you like and lessen your hatred to those that you don't like. If you don't have this understanding, then for example, when you encounter your enemy, you will immediately see this enemy, my enemy, horrible, incorrigible enemy, 100% negative. I cannot have dialogue, I cannot have negotiation. You see? But the so-called enemy, in the true sense of the term, not necessarily 100% negative. He also has his admirers, friends and relatives who think highly of that person, you see. You may not be thinking in that way, that there are other people who think like that. So not necessarily that he is 100% negative. So in this way you should be able to develop a holistic approach to everything. So that will lessen your negative emotions. So this is a very important thing. This we'll talk more about this later on. So right now it is better we have a short break. Okay. Can. Okay, thank you.